At the very beginning of the movie, we see a massive beast-like creature staring intently at a beautiful girl's face. He's holding the girl right in the palm of his hand, and in that moment, there was no fear in her eyes. Instead, the beast's heart had melted seeing her beauty, and that's right where a tragedy began, one that is no less painful than death itself. But why did this happen? And who is this monster? Let's find out. The story begins in America in 1933, back when the Great Depression was in full swing. People have no jobs, no food, and the situation is so bad that people are going days without eating. Eating food from a trash can seemed like a luxury back then, and thousands of people were taking their own lives after losing their jobs. At the start of the story, we see a theater company where there's barely any audience at all. Since the show flopped, none of the artists are getting paid, including our story's heroine, Anne, who is a comedic actress. Her mentor, Manny, looks at her like his own daughter, but the theater shuts down due to a lack of funds. Manny tells Anne not to give up because he believes that one day she's going to be a huge star. After that, Anne hits the streets looking for work, but she faces rejection everywhere she goes. Standing in front of a restaurant, she stares at the food with hungry eyes, but she doesn't have a single penny in her pocket. On the other side, we meet another character, Carl Denham, a film director, but his investors are furious with him. They only want glamour and cheap scenes in the movie, but Carl wants to create art. When the investors cut off the funding, Carl decides he's going to run away and make the movie on his own. He finds a map that reveals the location of a mysterious island called Skull Island. Carl plans to steal all the film reels with his assistant and make a run for it. But the problem is that the heroine of his movie has quit the project, so he needs to find a new leading lady right now. While wandering the streets, Carl comes to a fruit stand where he sees Anne stealing an apple out of pure hunger. When the shopkeeper catches her, Carl steps in to save her and pays for the apple. Then Carl takes Anne to a restaurant, gives her a full meal, and offers her a role in his movie. At first, Anne wasn't interested, but when she hears that the writer of this movie is Jack Driscoll, whose work she really loves, she agrees. That very night, they set off on a ship named the Venture, leaving the port just before the police could arrive. On the ship, Anne meets her favorite writer, Jack, and Jack falls in love with Anne the moment he sees her. Anne is such a sweet girl that everyone on the ship starts to like her. Filming begins, and Anne impresses everyone with her acting, while the relationship between Jack and Anne continues to grow deeper. One night, the ship enters a strange fog where it's pitch black all around and nothing can be seen. Suddenly, something resembling a massive wall appears in front of them, and the captain tries to turn the ship around, but it crashes into rocks hidden underwater, and the bottom of the ship gets punctured. Just then, the fog clears, revealing the terrifying Skull Island right before their eyes. Just looking at the island gives you the creeps. It looks like hell on earth. Carl, however, is very happy because this is exactly what he was looking for. Since the ship is damaged and will take time to repair, Carl takes the opportunity to head to the island on a boat with his team and Anne to film. As soon as they land on the island, they see human skeletons and mummies scattered everywhere. They approach a massive wall when suddenly a native girl appears out of nowhere and starts screaming. When Carl tries to give her a chocolate bar, the girl bites his hand instead. And that's when the real danger begins, as hundreds of natives emerge from holes in the ground. They look terrifying, and without saying a word, they attack straight away. The sound recording guy gets killed by one of their spears. The natives surround Anne, and their old female leader stares at her while chanting a spell. And meanwhile, they place Carl on a rock, preparing to smash his head in. At the very last moment, the ship's captain arrives and fires his gun to save them, and everyone runs back to the ship. But the danger isn't over yet, as the ship is still stuck on the rocks. That night, while everyone is trying to sleep, Jack notices that the natives have secretly climbed aboard the ship. They kill 2 of the crew members and kidnap Anne, taking her away. By the time Jack reaches Anne's cabin, it's already too late. The natives take Anne to the island and suspend her on the other side of a massive gate. They are actually sacrificing Anne to their god. Thousands of natives light torches and start chanting, "Kong, Kong." Their screams make the whole island tremble, and suddenly a massive hairy hand emerges from the jungle. the 25-foot-tall monster gorilla named King Kong grabs Anne in his fist and disappears into the darkness. Hearing Anne's screams, Jack and Carl realize that she has been taken. Carl sees this as an opportunity and thinks about getting video footage of King Kong. The captain gives them 24 hours. If they don't return by then, the ship will leave without them. Jack, Carl, and 15 sailors enter the jungle armed with weapons to rescue Anne. Inside the jungle, they enter a strange world where prehistoric dinosaurs are still alive. First, they get attacked by a huge horned dinosaur, which they manage to kill with great difficulty. Meanwhile, King Kong takes Anne to the top of a mountain, and Anne is half dead with fear. She looks down and sees thousands of human skeletons, meaning Kong has killed everyone who was sacrificed to him before. To save herself, Anne pokes Kong's hand with a bone she's holding, and Kong gets angry and throws her down. Anne tries to run away, but Kong catches her again. Meanwhile, as Jack and the others move through the jungle, they suddenly run into a herd of massive Brontosaurus dinosaurs. Carl is absolutely thrilled and starts filming with his camera. But suddenly, the dinosaurs get scared and start running because a pack of raptor dinosaurs has come to hunt them. A terrifying chase begins, with these massive dinosaurs running through a narrow path, and Jack and his team are running too, trying desperately not to get crushed under their feet. In this chaotic mess, Carl's camera gets broken, and several sailors are crushed to death under the dinosaurs' feet. At one point, they fall off the edge of a cliff, ending up in a pile of dinosaurs and humans all mixed together, and the whole place is covered in dust and blood. As everyone falls and starts to lose consciousness, they still don't realize that the place they've landed is actually another name for hell, because waiting for them here are bugs and creatures that go far beyond anything a human could ever imagine. Carl was filming this scene with his camera, but right in front of him, the real chaos began. When King Kong saw that humans had entered his territory, he got angry and started shaking that massive wooden bridge, and people started falling into the ravine one by one. Those who were lucky managed to hang on to vines and survive, while the rest fell to the bottom and died from broken bones. Meanwhile, Anne was trying to escape through the jungle when suddenly a terrifying creature that looked like a hybrid of a crocodile and a dinosaur appeared in front of her. Anne hides inside a hollow log to save herself from it, but danger just wouldn't leave her alone. Just then, a massive Tyrannosaurus Rex, or T-Rex, shows up and immediately eats that crocodile. Anne runs out of the log in fear, but then she sees another T-Rex right in front of her. Just when Anne thought there was no escape, King Kong makes an entrance like a hero, and to save Anne, he starts fighting 3 T-Rexes all by himself. Can you imagine that? Holding Anne in one hand, he's punching with the other, biting and even shoving his hand into the dinosaurs' mouths, just so Anne doesn't get hurt. While fighting, they all fall off the cliff, but Kong never lets go of Anne. Finally, Kong grabs the jaw of the last T-Rex, rips it apart to kill it, and pounds his chest to make it clear that he is the one and only king of this jungle. Meanwhile, the situation for Carl and Jack's team, who fell into the ravine, is even worse. They've landed in a pit that is home to hellish bugs. Huge leeches, scorpions, and weird insects start crawling all over their bodies, and the cook, Lumpy, gets swallowed whole by a monster that looks like a worm. Just when it seemed like everyone was going to die, the captain arrives and shoots the bugs with a machine gun to rescue them. Next, we see a strange scene where King Kong is sitting on the top of a mountain with Anne at twilight. Anne realizes that this massive monster is actually very lonely, and she speaks to Kong using sign language. Watching the sunset, Anne says, "Beautiful," and Kong looks at her in awe, and a strange bond begins to form between them. But Jack secretly arrives there to rescue Anne, and while Kong is asleep, they try to escape. But Kong wakes up and chases them. Jack and Anne jump into the river and somehow make it to the wall. But there, Carl and his greedy team had set a trap for Kong. Anne screams to stop them, but nobody listens to her. Kong breaks through the wall for Anne, and the men knock him out using chloroform. Kong reached his hand out toward Anne until the very last moment, and his eyes were filled with disbelief and pain. Then the scene shifts straight to New York City, where Carl is now famous, and he is exhibiting Kong as the 8th wonder of the world in a Broadway show.
Kong is kept tied up in chains, and thousands of people are clapping as they watch him. But Kong is looking for Anne. When a fake Anne is brought onto the stage, Kong gets angry and breaks free from his chains. He destroys the entire theater and comes out onto the street, starting his rampage in New York City, flipping cars and smashing buildings, just to find the person he loves. Finally, Jack and Anne appear in front of him, and seeing Anne, Kong calms down. The two of them spend some time on the frozen ice, as if the world belonged only to them. But the happiness didn't last long, as the military forces arrive, and Kong takes Anne to the very top of the Empire State Building. There, the final battle begins, with machine guns firing from airplanes. Kong shields Anne with his body, and even though he is getting riddled with bullets, he refuses to give up. But eventually he can't take it anymore, and before he dies, he looks at Anne's face for the last time. There was a sad look of farewell in his eyes, and then he falls from the building, while Anne breaks down in tears. Amidst the crowd gathered below, Carl speaks up. The airplanes didn't kill him. It was his love that killed him. Before ending the video, let me share a few things. This movie, released in 2005, is named King Kong, and it was directed by the legendary Peter Jackson. This movie has an IMDb rating of 7.2 and won 3 Oscars for its outstanding visual effects. The movie isn't just a story about a monster, it's a love story that goes beyond language or species. After watching the movie, you'll be left wondering, who is the real beast? That gorilla or us humans? If this video touched your heart even a little bit, don't forget to hit the like button and let us know in the comments which scene was your favorite. Stay tuned by subscribing for more thrilling stories like this, and I'll see you in the next video.